It's still damp from a couple hours ago. So what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to give myself some layers and make it nice and textured. Start off. Now if you have a lot of hair, you're going to only want to take like a ½ inch, but I'm going to take my section about this big, which is about 1 inch in the back. So I'm left with these two right here, like that. Okay, so go ahead and split that in half. And bring it forward. Now, if you want to bring your length up, now would be a good time to just take your length and bring it up to wherever you want it, depending how you want it on your back. Say you want it at your bra strap, just take your pick, bring it around, and then you know about where you want. Another thing you can do is take it. Another way we can do it is create the layers, and then after you do the cut, after you do the layers, which is probably what I'm going to do, then I can decide if I want to shorten it or not. So I'm going to take my section. Since I don't have a lot of hair at all, I'm just going to take this section. If you have a thicker, more dense hair, you want to cut it into half. Okay? But I don't, so I'm just going to section. And I'm going to cut it from about here down. From about here down. So what that's going to create is a lot of texture from here down. If you want more texture here, you can take it from here down. But what that's going to do is make a very thin section. So what I like to do with anything is start off with a little bit, and I can work my way up to more if I want. So I'm going to take it, like I said, take it down. See? And then the other side. Do the same thing. So I took out some long pieces, and what that's going to do is create some shorter pieces throughout. What I'm going to do is how I deal with my split ends, which I haven't done in a long time. I take in between my fingers, like this, and then I bend it like this. When you bend it, you'll see, when you go down the hair shaft, you'll see any split ends that you have, and then you just trim them off. I'm also leaning my head back. See, there's a split. Take it off. There we go. And that just takes care of the split ends. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. I'm going to just start here and go down. Now if you notice that one side is already having a lot of splits, like this one, this side is, I'm going to take care of the splits first before I cut any of the layers, because this piece is a lot I can't talk when I'm concentrating. So what I have here is pieciness. Alright, so just take that away. And like I said, I don't really have a lot of hair, so I'm just taking like about this much. And really treat your hair with a lot of respect because it's the only hair you have. The key to growing out your hair is to eat right, eat healthy, eat your vegetables. But you also want to take a vitamin which is called vitamin B. I take vitamin B complex, and that has vitamin B6, B12 and all that. And that is really good for your hair and your nails. Normally, you just want to make sure that you take the same sections, and what you do to this side, you do to this side. With the splits, let's get the splits out. Now, I do not do this thing with my splits every time I cut my hair. I just do this pretty much when I need it. And I was looking at my hair the other day, and I really needed it. So that's why I said I'm gonna do this. You can also like take your thumb and put that there, just to make sure you get it all. If that helps you see it better, if that helps you, great. Mid-shaft and come down. See? And then take it the other way. You can just flip it that way. Put that back since I did it. You don't want to take your sections so that they're so thin either, because then you'll end up cutting too much off. And you don't want to do that. So this is for someone that has a lot of hair and they want to add texture. Like, I don't have a lot of hair, but I feel like it's too heavy. So that's why I'm doing that. Okay, and this isn't going to be like a totally even haircut. This is a textured haircut. And textured haircuts are not meant to be even. Alright. So like I said, basically what I'm doing is curving it like a V, taking each section, instead of having it like thick, I want it to be like a V. And you can decide where you want your texture to be. You can start it here, or up here. If you do it all the way up here, you're gonna end up with really thin hair. So I wouldn't advise that. But I'm gonna start like mid-shaft. And like I said, I'm taking my shears down. Taking it down. And you want to make sure that your shears are sharp. So now we did that side. Now you can either switch scissors, switch hands, and take it that way if you are ambidextrous, or flip it this way and then just take it down. And just take it all the way down. So, see how it's layered like that now? Alright, throw it in the bag. There wasn't that many splits. My splits were mostly on the longer pieces in the bag. Alright. Now, since my layers are front layers, I'm just going to leave that because I'm going to take care of that front layer at the end. And if you want it thinner, shorter, go ahead and just split it in half. Decide where you want your length to be, and then take it up. Now if it's too thick, you want it shorter, go ahead and section this part up, cut that, section that, cut there, and so forth. I'm obviously going to keep my length because I'm enjoying it long. That. Take the same section, make sure it's even.
Okay, so through this top section, I'm just going to trim the ends, but depending on where you want your length to be, you can take off a little more or a little less. What I'm doing is starting in the middle, and then I keep taking sections and bringing it forward, and then trimming where my guide is. And I keep bringing sections from the side, and I'm over directing them to the front. And what that does is it leaves that front layer that you see at the bottom, that C-shaped layer. So here I am over directing, and I'm also point cutting. That way it's not like a line, but it's just like a nice way to leave your ends soft. It's soft.
Now, if you want shorter pieces in the front, part your hair wherever you want to part it. If you don't have a part, do it in the middle. And then you can always have shorter layers. See, where do you want your layers to be? Here, here, and you take like a triangle piece, another triangle piece, decide where you want it. What I like to do is start here, right about here, or it depends where you want your layering to start. I kind of gear it off like that. I don't really want to do it too much, but let's see. So I'm going to start about here, go that way, and then just, since I parted on both sides, just do the same thing. Now if I were to take that piece and maybe apply the same thing here, when I go like this, like if I do the same thing starting here and brought it over and brought it over here, when I go like this, I'm going to have these shorter pieces right here. But I don't want my hair short, so I'm not going to do that. But if you were to take this piece and start your thing like this, take the scissors and go like this, and if you part it that way, you would have some shorter pieces like this. But if you do it both ways, then when you part it like this, like I said, you would have the shorter pieces. But if you part it this way all the time, or vice versa, that way, whichever way, just, and you'll have some wispy side bangs. But I really don't want to do that because I really don't want to cut my hair like that, but in another video I will. And then if you don't want just like, if you did your bangs like that and you didn't want just a little piece here, obviously, you would just keep taking the pieces and then cutting it like that till you're satisfied. So I'm just going to do it again. And just very lightly. Like I said, I part it both ways. I don't have a part, so that's why I'm keeping them long. That's why I'm keeping them long. Okay, and that's gonna do. That's gonna do for me. So, just make sure that everything blends in.